On this episode, number 747 of Into Your Head podcast, hello, why I have a commercial advantage over Eminem, and lots more. Absolutely fucking fantastic, hello.
Monkey nuts, that's what they call them. Monkey nuts, into your head. Monkey nuts, that's what they call them. Big steaming piles of monkey nuts into your head.
We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Oh, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively moving to the seams with topics. We've got topics coming out of this thin foil wrapper from a Yorkie bar. I've got a thin foil wrapper from a Yorkie bar here, as implied by my statement that there were topics coming out of it. Although there aren't really. There's no topics coming out of this. If I wanted a topic coming out of a foil wrapper, I'd have bought a topic bar. There's a bar over here called a topic. I don't know if you foreigners are familiar with it. It's a bit like it's one of those. It's one of those less mainstream chocolate bars. It's basically the same as every other frigging bar. It's not as big as your Mars bar or your Yorkie bar. It's probably about the same. Although it is a bit physically smaller. But when I said not as big, I meant in terms of stature. The stature of a topic bar wouldn't be anywhere near as big as the Mars bar or the Yorkie or any of those other ones. Although maybe it should be. There's nothing wrong with a topic bar, I can tell you. I'd have just as happily crammed the topic bar down my face if I hadn't seen the Yorkies first in the shop, and if I had seen topic bars, which I don't know whether I did. I probably did subconsciously. You see thousands of things through the day that you don't register. I went down to my local convenience store half an hour ago, and I probably saw at least 3,000 different items there. But if you asked me to rattle them off here to you, I wouldn't be able to. I could probably have a guess at what I saw. I remember a few things. I remember seeing a chicken. There was one whole chicken in the whole shop. There was a chicken there, a sad Monday morning chicken laid out in the special display fridge with a packet of pork chops or something beside it. There was a bag of grated cheese. In fact, there were several of those, and I bought one. There was a bottle of Fanta Orange. I bought that as well. What else did I buy? I bought a bag of lettuce. A bag of lettuce, or a bag of lettuces, should I say, because it's mixed lettuce. I presume it is anyway, that stuff. Those different leaves didn't all come off the same head of lettuce. I can be pretty damn sure of that. Although admittedly that's an assumption. It's okay to make assumptions. You can make assumptions. Have a bit of confidence in yourself and make assumptions. Make assumptions like the sun don't shine, except it does. Don't assume that the sun doesn't shine, because that's stupid, because you can see it right out there. I can see it right out there. I can't, now that you mentioned it, I can't see the sun from here, but I can see the light caused by the sun. At least I assume it's caused by the sun. If it's caused by something else, then we have a problem here. If that light, because there's lighting up the whole outside world around my house. I can see if I can see for miles and miles, I can see all the way to the horizon. It's like a giant light bulb in the sky is being lit up, except it's not in the sky. It's the sun. The sun isn't in the sky. It's over there in space, over there that way. It's not necessarily up in the sky. The sun probably thinks we're up in the sky. Probably looks at us and says, what's that thing up there? That thing up there, that globe-shaped thing up in the sky, doesn't emit any light. It just reflects light. It's very efficient that way. We should do that. We claim to have efficient light bulbs now. A proper efficient light bulb would be one that doesn't emit any light and just reflects light from the nearest available other light bulb, maybe from your neighbours. If we all had a system, they talk about that when they were talking about those wireless self-reading electricity meters that they put in some countries, apparently, where they're all linked up by Wi-Fi. Your meter connects by Wi-Fi to your neighbour's one, which connects to the next one, which connects to the next one. It's all a network. You can do the same with light bulbs. You can have a light bulb that's just a reflective spherical mirror, and you put it up on your ceiling and reflects light from the nearest available other bulb, which might be next door or it might be will probably be the street light outside. That would be an issue because the street light outside hasn't worked for several months because it hasn't been fixed. Nobody's attending to the light bulb and the public infrastructure in my estate at the moment for various political reasons with which I won't bore you further. Anyway, suffice to say, hello and welcome to the show. Hello, this is Into Your Head podcast. Hello. Once upon a time there was a dog. Basically a dogular creature, basically a dog. I know this is very derivative of a segment I've done at least twice before on this program. It's fine. You don't have to be original every frigging day. You can just because something's not new doesn't make it bad. You're not new. You're about 85 years old, and there's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly good. It's not going to just throw you out into the trash just because you're not new and original. Well, maybe you are original. Are you original? You probably are. Or maybe you're not. Has that occurred to you? Has it occurred to you that you're not original? Because if that thought has occurred to you, that's occurred to other people as well before. So by definition, you're not original. You're being derivative. You're a derivative work. And if you look at the Creative Commons license for this publication that I'm doing now, you'll see no derivative works are allowed. It's very generous license. It allows you to republish this, but no derivative works. None of that crap. But no, for people can be derivative works of other people. You're a derivative work of your parents. You're derived from your parents. You're adopted from them. You took the best bits of your parents and then you added in some other stuff. You said, I'm going to be like my parents, but I'm also going to be into death metal or something. You added something else, and then your kids after you will say, I'm going to be like my parents, except I'm going to dislike death metal. And every second generation is the same as the generation 2 generations before. That's how it works. Note to self, edit out the preceding cough, or else leave in this note to self to make it clear that you thought about editing out the preceding cough, but decided against it. Oh Christ, what's this hissing going on? Hold on a minute. Note to self, edit out the preceding 37 seconds or so, or leave it in for filler. Why not? Leave it in for filler. That's what they say. Where's my harmonica? There it is. I was hiding behind a giant coffee mug, inside which is the aforementioned Yorkie bar wrapper. Absolutely great. Everything's tying in with everything else to say today. Anyway, I was going to do something on the harmonica. Oh yes, filler. Everything is filler. Tie her up and kill her. See, that's derivative of the sort of thing Eminem would do. He'd say, tie her up and kill her, everything is filler. And then he'd rap a bit. He'd say, yo, rap. I can't do it myself because I'm not as talented in that field as Eminem. I'm happy to leave it for him to do. Eminem is the king of saying things like, tie her up and kill her. Yorkie bars are filler. Although I'd like to see Eminem playing harmonica like that and getting away with it. He couldn't get away with that because he's a professional artist who charges people several euros for his albums. Like, he couldn't just play the harmonica like that on a professional commercial album. People would say, that's a rip-off. He's not playing that properly at all. That's where I have an advantage here. I can get away with crap like that. So basically, I'm better than Eminem in that respect. Or I'm more uniquely equipped to provide harmonica entertainment like that than Eminem due to commercial commercial factors affecting his creativity. Poor bastard. You poor bastard, Eminem. You poor bastard. My heart bleeds for you. Probably does. Does my heart bleed? Probably doesn't. Is your heart supposed to bleed just when you have thoughts about someone sympathetically? Probably not. It's probably a metaphor, is it? I don't know. Do you know? You probably don't. Or do you? Do you know? Do you know anything? You probably don't. Been listening to this now for nearly 10 minutes and you still know nothing, because you're not soaking in any of this at all. You're just treating it like background fodder. You have it on in the background. You're not listening to a fucking word I say. If I knew your name, I'd call it out now just to give you a shock. And then you'd say, wait a minute, did he say my name? And then I'll say, yes, I did say your name. I did just say your name. As a matter of fact, I didn't, but you're paying attention now and you're saying, wait a minute, I just said your name. Does that mean he said my name? Yes, I did say your name. I'm lying, of course, but I've got your attention just as effectively as if I knew your name. So that's a clever tactic you can use. Anyway, on with the show. I've always been a great believer in the dictum quod ette demonstrandum, which, as you're no doubt fully aware, because just like me, you did honours level mathematics for your intermediate certificate. You did very well in maths up until the age of about 16, until your academic performance took a turn for the worse. But up till then, you did maths with Mr. Nesbitt, and you learned all about quod ette demonstrandum. You were doing algebraic theorems, or whatever you call them, and when you do a theorem, you get a question in an exam and it says, prove this, and you have to write down the mathematic proof, and then you come to the end and you say, therefore, blah, 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 QED. And QED means which was to be proven, or which was to be shown. It's basically Latin. It's not enough that you're learning maths at the highest possible level that the Irish educational system allows you to in 1991, but you're expected to learn Latin as well as part of it. Jesus Christ, no wonder kids are all turning up on drugs. They're all going on drugs now. You see them out in our estate with their, well, not necessarily drugs, because drugs aren't as visible as cans of beer, but you see the cans of beer everywhere. You go out here of a Monday morning and there's cans of beer lying around on the road, empty, just like the souls of the kids who drink from them. They're empty vessels, except they're not empty because they fill themselves up with beer and cheap cider. Well, it's not that cheap. It's a 2-litre bottle. It's 4 times the amount of cider that you would find in a can of cider, so it's more expensive, but it works out cheap because of the bulk. That's my understanding. You get a 2-litre bottle of cider and you pay about, I believe you pay 7 or 6 or 7 or 8 euros for it, depending on the brand. And the advantage over getting cans of beer is that it's although it's more expensive than a can of beer, it's cheaper than the equivalent volume of beer in cans, which will be 4 cans. Well, I suppose it depends on the beer. Everything depends on the beer in this fucking country. Everything depends on the beer. You go out on St. Patrick's Day and they'll say, oh, how's the parade going? And they'll say, depends on the beer. Oh, depends on the beer. Depends on the beer. Depends on the beer. Depends on the beer. And you'll say, why is there a pen on the beer? And they'll say, because this is a pub promotion on the people from Diageo, the international conglomerate who own Guinness and Heineken and other beer brands, are running a little competition in the pubs. So when you get a beer, there's a little pen on it, a writing implement, and you're supposed to fill out a form and enter a prize draw. And you hand it into someone and you say, there you go, there's my form. Now sell me more of your alcohol brand. And they'll say, oh, I'm just a promotional fella in the t-shirt who collects up the prize draw entries. Buy your beer off the barman or woman up there. I'm just here as an extra gimmick, an extra promotional gimmick. Isn't it absolutely fucking fantastic? And of course you reply, yes, it is absolutely fucking fantastic, because you're intoxicated intoxicated by the alcohol that they've coerced you into drinking. So you've been deluded into thinking that it is absolutely fucking fantastic. So I suppose coffee does the same as well. It's doing the same to me now, except I don't think that the aforementioned is absolutely fucking fantastic. So clearly coffee isn't having the same influence. Maybe coffee is making me negative about that positive influence of the beer. Has that occurred to you? It has now. Has occurred to me as well. Occurred to me within the last few seconds, just as I was starting to say it. That's the best way to have thoughts. You have them as they come into your head and you let them straight out before they can be polluted by logic or fact or analysis or anything else. Just let your raw thoughts out. Absolutely fucking fantastic.
Into your head.
Do you like this program? Well, it's about time you proved it. Search for Into Your Head in iTunes, leave a 5-star rating, and write a nice review under it. Do it today. It's been 6 years, you know. I'll be checking. I eat podcast listeners for breakfast, you know. Breakfast. Anyway, review the podcast in iTunes. It's important. Hash browns and toast, please.
Remember, we value the opinions of you, the humble and ignorant listener. Email studio@intoyourhead.com.
Support the Podcastual Arts at no cost to you. Just click through the Amazon link at intoyourhead.com whenever you go shopping for anything, even if you use Amazon UK or Canada. We'll take your weird foreign money here. We're not proud. Just visit intoyourhead.com and click on the appropriate Amazon banner.
2 M&Ms go... Oh, bollocks. I started that incorrectly. At least I had the decency to say I started it incorrectly rather than saying I started it wrong, which would have been even more incorrect, ironically. But no, let's start that again. 2 M&Ms walk into a bar. One of the M&Ms goes straight up to the bar counter and says, "Hello, I wonder could we use your stage area for a few minutes? We'd like to have a rap battle, a duel, if you will." And the man behind the bar says, "You seem to both be the same person. You do realise that?" And the M&M says, "Exactly. That's why we're well matched. They do the same with wrestling and boxing. They match people weight for weight. You have to be around the same weight as the person you're challenging. So if I'm having a rap battle with another M&M who's also an M&M, and I'm also an M&M too, and he's also an M&M as well as me, then that's a fair matched rap battle, don't you think?" And the man behind the bar says, "I'm not paid to think. In fact, I'm not paid to do anything. I'm self-employed, so I suppose I can do whatever I want. But maybe I don't want to think. Has that occurred to you?" And the M&M says, "It has now. Fucking well has now. Jesus Christ, man. Gee, have some fucking pride, will you? Do a bit of thinking. Do a bit of thinking with your brain, like I did when I was out on the streets of wherever I grew up." Where did Eminem grow up? I don't know. Was it Philadelphia or somewhere? I was in Philadelphia once. It's the place. They have Sesame Street Park near Philadelphia. It's a park. I didn't go in there. I saw the billboards. Some sort of a theme park based around Sesame Street. Is that where Eminem's from? Or am I confusing him with the movie about Tom Hanks having AIDS? Maybe I am. What's that movie called? It was called Philadelphia, and it had Bruce Springsteen doing the soundtrack. He says, "On the streets of Philadelphia." On the streets, I suppose both Bruce Springsteen and Tom Hanks's character in that movie and Eminem, all three of them in fact, could all be from Philadelphia. I suppose that's feasible. I just don't know whether that's the case. Is that the case? I don't know. Is that the case? No fucking idea. Anyway, the man behind the bar says, "Go on, have your little rap battle if it makes you happy." And Eminem says, "It doesn't make me happy, but there's more to life than happiness. It makes me fulfilled. That's more important." And the man behind the bar says, "Well, do a little rap about that then." And Eminem says, "Maybe I will." And the man behind the bar says, "Well, do it then." And Eminem says, "Is that a challenge?" And the man behind the bar says, "I suppose it is, yes, but it's not a challenge to a rap battle, because I'm not going to do rap." And Eminem says, "That's loser talk." And the man behind the bar says, "You used that line in your latest episode of Matchstick catch the webcomic to see intoyourhead.com. And Eminem says, oh, that's very clever. Get a little plug in and draw people into the website where they can see the Amazon affiliate links and buy glasses online links and all sorts of other stuff to help support the show. And the man behind the bar says, I like to think so, yes. And Eminem says, well, does thinking it make you happy or does it make you fulfilled, or both? And the man behind the bar says, well, this is making me less fulfilled now. You're making me double think myself about everything. You're making me second guess myself, rather. That's not what I meant to say, not double think. Second guess. And Eminem says, well, excuse me for encouraging someone to think with their brain. And the man behind the bar says, you're excused. And Eminem says, does that mean I have to leave? I'm not familiar with the way you foreigners talk. And the man behind the bar says, no, it doesn't. So go on and have your little rap battle. And the Eminem says, I will indeed. And he calls over the other Eminem and he says, are you ready, dude? And the other Eminem says, I'm ready when you are. And the first Eminem says, well, what if I'm not ready then? And the other Eminem says, well, then I'm not ready either. How can I be ready if my opponent isn't ready? Nothing's going to happen. And the other Eminem says, do you want to fight? And the other Eminem says, no, let's fight this out like gentlemen by doing poetry to a beat. And the other Eminem says, okay. And the great night is had by all. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, oh, he's got another 8 or 9 minutes to fill, assuming I hold him down to the generally established by precedent format of being around a half-hour show most of the time. Well, that's very, excuse me for wanting to be flexible. Not that I want to be. I do want to do a half-hour episode today. So as it happens, we're both on the same page today. Well, any other day that mightn't be the case. There might be another day where you're thinking, he's going to do 30 minutes. At least I expect him to. And I might be thinking, I'm going to do 3 minutes. And the only reason I do more than 3 minutes is because it takes more than 3 minutes to say this, to issue this statement. And you'll be thinking, I feel a bit ripped off. And I'll be thinking, I'm sorry about that. But it swings and roundabouts. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. It all averages out. Not that I've done the maths. I haven't done the maths. No. I just assume the maths works. You don't go around checking maths and check out. You don't go out in the morning and say, I wonder are the laws of physics working today? Maybe I should check them. Maybe I should have a laws of physics thermometer outside my house, just beside my barometer that I use to obsess over the weather. You do not. You just assume the laws of physics are working until you hear on the news somewhere that scientists have noticed a problem or something, or they say, we have to reduce our carbon emissions now because the laws of physics are being affected. And then you say to them, if you want to change the laws of physics, you should run to become a member of parliament and become a democratically elected physics lawmaker like everyone else. And of course you don't say that out loud because it's going to make you look stupid. There's one thing you don't want when you're talking about the laws of physics or politics, it's to look stupid, because then nobody will take you seriously at all. So whatever you do, don't look stupid. You can look stupid physically. Lots of Professor Stephen Hawking, I'm sure he'd agree himself, looks stupid physically, but there's nothing wrong with that. You see, it doesn't affect what he does in any way, because it's not important. Looks aren't important on Professor Stephen Hawking or anyone else. Not that there's anything wrong with how Professor Stephen Hawking looks. He can't control how he looks, for one thing. I suppose he could issue instructions to whoever arranges him in the morning and say, make me look like this. Today I want the Bruce Springsteen look. But there's only so much they can do for him in that regard. So don't blame the man, for Christ's sake. Don't shoot him while he's down. He's been down for the last 35 years or so don't kick him while he's down. Although would he feel it? I don't know. Can he feel kicks? I just don't do it anyway. It's not appropriate to go around kicking Professor Stephen Hawking, for Christ's sake. Anyway, good morning. Oh, that was only 25 minutes. Jesus Christ, how I look stupid. If this was a YouTube presentation, you'd be laughing at me inappropriately, not in the way that you laugh at a comedy presentation that's supposed to make you laugh. No, you'd be laughing at me in the same way that you'd be laughing at another child when you're 12 and you're at school and you go, ha ha, I'm laughing at you. I hereby laugh at you and mock you, which makes you no better than any 12-year-old. What do you think about that? I'm insulting you now. I'm saying you're no better than a 12-year-old. There's a quiz show that says, are you smarter than a 10-year-old? I believe over in you foreign countries it's called something else. It's called, are you smarter than a fifth grader or whatever it is? You like to grade your children. We don't grade our children. We just identify them by their ages. So we call it, are you smarter than a 10-year-old? Well, no, you like to grade your children like it's some sort of a meat plant. You say, oh, this is top grade meat here. It's going to make university fodder by the time it's 18. It's going to be the next, your man who does that science program that everyone's talking about at the moment. What's your man with the mustache who looks like the Cleveland Show? There's a new thing that's on the television with your man that all the geeks are into. It's basically some fella talking about the cosmos. I think it's called the Cosmos. There's a show called something like the Cosmos, and there's some fella talking about the cosmos and saying, isn't the cosmos great? Professor Stephen Hawking said that years ago, and then he moved on from the thought that the cosmos is great and did something more advanced, because that's what you're meant to do. You can't stay at junior baby's level forever. You move up a bit. But no, there's a grown man just going on about the fact that the cosmos is great. There was a Queen album called The Cosmos Rocks a few years ago. The remaining members of Queen and Paul Rodgers from Bad Company. Well, that's probably not of any relevance, is it? Probably isn't. I don't know. Anyway, good morning.